If your marketing strategy to get new coaching clients is posting on social media, you're playing the wrong game.
In this video, you'll discover why you keep blending in even when your content is good.
How to stop posting into the void and start being discovered by people who are looking for your solution.
And finally, the blue ocean for attracting dream clients that most coaches don't even know exists.
Hello, my name is Anthony Winery.
I'm Tygo O'Shea.
And over the last 3 years, we've generated over $1 million with our coaching business. We help online coaches build authentic personal brands through 15-minute solo podcasts that allows them to attract dream clients without posting on social media.
Does posting on social media feel like this picture here? Now, it might be LinkedIn, it could even be Instagram, hopefully not even TikTok, X, whatever it might be. What's the main thing of this picture here, Anthony?
Everything around this dog, which is, we're not calling you a dog in this case. I guess in this image, it would be
good clarification.
But I think the difference would be most online coaches really are in a burning building. They have things crumbling down. They're trying super hard, but not getting the results. And in this scenario, the dog actually wouldn't be smiling. You're pretty pissed off. You're probably frustrated with the fact you're doing all this work online, but it's still not working for you when it comes to getting clients.
And that's because you're playing the wrong game for your goals. Now, marketing your coaching business feels like a daily war zone when you're on social media, where you post, you grind, the algorithm still ignores you, and the harder you try, the less it works.
Now, this really is most online coaches who are trying to play the game of social media.
So you call people a hamster after you call people a dog. What's next?
Well, look, here's the thing, right? Most online coaches who are trying to build authentic personal brands end up finding themselves stuck in this content hamster wheel.
Which is, you wake up, feel not good, anxious about posting your content, post it anyway, it gets no engagement, no leads, and definitely no clients, but yet you repeat it every day.
Now, the thing is, you're not failing because you're inherently bad at marketing. You're failing because you're playing a game designed for performers, for online creators, for people who like playing the social media algorithm, not practitioners, not experts who want a lean, simple business that attracts dream clients without becoming a social media performing monkey.
There's the trio: dog, hamster, monkey.
There you have it.
Now, this is why the game doesn't work for coaches specifically. Social media rewards following trends,
Posting 24/7.
and chasing the algorithms ultimately. Whereas you've been invested in, by way of being a coach, your coaching expertise,
Client results.
and real transformation. Now, it's common knowledge that if you try and master 2 games, you're not going to master either one. You've likely already mastered or are on your way and invested in mastering the one on the right. So it makes sense that the one on the left is not something that's going to be suited to you when it comes to getting clients compared to the countless other people who are playing that game properly who will always outperform.
Now, this is what most people try to do. You're playing the game of social media on the content hamster wheel, trying to get an algorithm to work in your favor. But here's the craziest strategy. You want to stand out, right? So what do? You copy what trends working, what other people are doing. And in doing so, you end up blending in with everyone else. I don't know about you, but I've had experience of opening up social media, for me is LinkedIn, and seeing a bunch of posts that are copy and paste of each other, the same template, the same frameworks, the same kind of hook. Again, playing that algorithm rather than just being found by the people who need your solutions. Now, if you were getting clients from this, then maybe, just maybe, it might feel slightly better. But you're playing this game, you hate it, you're not getting the traction, and you're not getting the clients from it.
And that's because the old model is broken. So just to recap, that old model is posting on social media, trying to stand out, copying what's working, blending in, chasing virality, and repeat until
you get to a point where you try to convince yourself and you pray that you eventually fall in love with a system you actually hate.
If you're a great coach spending your best hours coaching, you will never outperform someone spending their best hours on social media. So it's not all doom and gloom. We're actually here to tell you that there's a new model.
Smart coaches have opted out of the social media game entirely, and they're able to build simple businesses that allows the expertise to be found by people already searching for what they do. This is how one of our clients, Laura here, went from random marketing activities online to then earning over $100,000 from a new coaching program she launched. And she did this using the strategy we're about to reveal. Because whilst other people are posting on social media, trying to reach and grab the attention of what we call doom scrollers, you've seen this image before, where you're trying to reach people who are doom scrolling distracted, who don't really care about what you have to say. These are the people you're trying to reach. They're not using their best mind. So even if you do get good, you're not reaching the right clients you probably want to work with.
Compared to on Apple and Spotify, where podcasts exist and people go intentionally searching for what they're looking for, to not just scroll it for 10 seconds, but to actually invest time in listening to what someone has to say in depth, their stories, how they think, all of it, all of their expertise around a certain topic. And they do this with so much more attention than when they're on social media, because like you can see in the image, they're going on a walk, they are doing chores, they're at the gym, they're on the commute, they're locked in to hearing what you have to say.
And by the way, if you haven't made the link just yet, Apple and Spotify is the exact marketing strategy and channel that our client Laura used to attract clients without pushing on social media.
Now, let's compare Apple and Spotify as discovery channels to the other main marketing channels coaches are using.
So when it comes to the competition on YouTube, there are 120 million other channels that are actively posting. When it comes to LinkedIn, there are 67 plus million active accounts that are posting and you're competing against.
Now, these are what we would call red oceans, which means that they're saturated. Basically, there's already a lot of supply. Compared to Apple and Spotify is a blue ocean, because there's still lots of demand, but there's not that much supply. There's actually less than 400,000 active podcasts on Apple and Spotify. This absolutely pales in comparison compared to any other marketing channel you're probably using.
Which is insane when you think about the game that you're likely playing, trying to crack YouTube or maybe posting on other platforms like social media. We haven't even mentioned Instagram, which is going to be well over 67 million as well. But again, that's the wrong game if you're an online coach who wants to build an authentic personal brand that allows you to stand out without having to become, again, like a performing monkey, playing to the algorithm, but still not getting the results. You can play a totally different game.
Although the internet would have you think that everyone already has a podcast. We're here to tell you it's not too late to start a podcast. Why is that, Anthony?
Well, most people think of podcasting, they think about Joe Rogan, Stephen Bartlett, or every other celebrity launching a show. Firstly, they're launching a show because they understand the growth to build. But that's besides the point. If an online coach with a very specific type of podcast and you're uploading that onto Apple and Spotify, there's little to no competition and is not saturated at all. And a lot of those shows that people do know about, well, they're interview shows with celebrity hosts.
So given that many celebrities already have podcasts, what's the solution for online coaches?
That will be 15-minute solo podcasts.
So why solo podcasts and why 15 minutes? Well, you're the expert in a solo podcast. Most podcasts people have heard of or listened to have guests. It's an interview, it's a two-way conversation where the guest is positioned as the authority. So if you started one of them, you wouldn't be much more likely to get clients because, if anything, you would be platforming guests who would then get clients. But if you start a podcast and you are the host and you just do it solo, you are talking directly to the listener, and that is where you can get clients light years faster than social media.
Listeners are connecting with you directly. They build trust with you. Given that everyone and most online coaches who haven't watched this video would think, oh yeah, I'm going to start interviewing guests. They're not aware about this. So you're able to differentiate yourself in a sea of other shows that are doing interviews. Now, why 15 minutes?
A stranger will gamble 15 minutes on an unknown coach, or basically on a show they haven't heard of before. But they won't gamble 60 minutes because if they're going to spend an hour, then why not just listen to Joe Rogan or Mel Robbins or just one of the famous podcasts out there? Now, there's also another reason that 15 minutes is a little bit of a hack when it comes to getting clients.
15 minutes is short enough to, number one, allow them to take the action and try a show for the first time. But also it allows you to have a much higher completion rate, meaning when someone clicks play, they're far more likely to complete and consume the entire content, which allows them to build a deeper connection with you and allows them to build that trust a lot faster.
So this is the evolution of the human brain. You start posting on LinkedIn every day. The brain lights up, if I'm illustrating that correctly, when you start a YouTube channel. The brain goes pretty crazy, for want of a better word, when you launch a podcast with guests like all the other shows out there. But you connect to the universe when you start a
15-minute solo podcast on Apple and Spotify. And I think it's having this realization of like, this is a different alternative for you to attract clients without playing the social media game.
So the simple system is this. You start a solo podcast, solo format, no guests. It's your voice and it's your brand.
It needs to be 50 minutes, so it's an easy entry for new listeners and new audience who are discovering your show for the first time.
And then the final piece, and the only thing you need to do to get your podcast to be discovered, is simply use podcast SEO, which is the strategy that doesn't involve social media, doesn't involve promoting your show on Instagram or anything. That would just take you back to square one. Instead, it's just a process of using the right words listeners are searching for in your episodes and in your show name to reach page one of Apple and Spotify and become found by thousands of new listeners on a weekly and monthly basis.
So if you can simply describe what the content is about, rather than trying to create a crazy hook for the algorithm, your content you've worked hard for will reach the right audience.
Meaning dream clients find you. So before we wrap up this video, here's what you've learned and here's what you should take away from today.
If you're an online coach who struggles with social media, you'll keep failing because the platforms are built for creators, people who are willing to play the game of the algorithm, staying on that content hamster wheel. But if you don't like it, if you kind of just honestly secretly hate it or openly hate it, you're never going to win this game because it's not a game that's built for you.
If you keep chasing trends and playing a game you hate, stop leaving your real unfair advantage that you have over creators on the table. That's your expertise.
And finally, like you've discovered, there are smart coaches out there like you who want to build an authentic personal brand. They start by creating 15-minute solo podcasts that allows them to reach the right clients and be found by the right clients consistently without having to chase trends and post every single day on social media.
So if any of this has opened your mind to a better way of getting clients that maybe you don't hate, maybe feels more suited to you, without waking up worrying about if the algorithm is going to carry you there, then stick around, subscribe to this channel and watch more videos so you can get a better understanding of how to escape the old way and start a simple 15-minute solo podcast with an authentic personal brand.